However, during Christmas time, stress actually plays a role as well. The question is, how can you avoid it? Yes, you're feeling a little anxious? Well, you're not alone. Joining us now to discuss all things surrounding that is Dr. Mirhom back here on the Live Zone. Good to see you, sir. Happy Monday to you.
Great to see you as always, Guy. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, but of course, it's really interesting that we're discussing this because when you think of the holiday season and you think of this time of the year, you just think of, warm and fuzzy things. I'm thinking of hot apple cider and hanging out by the fire and singing Christmas carols. But yet there's a flip side to that coin. In this case, we're talking about people feeling anxious, unpleasant, and so much more. I'm hoping you can provide us with some tips about what we need to do to alleviate that.
Absolutely, Guy. And the first part is absolutely true, which is with this season, there's a lot to look forward to and a lot of joy. But the flip side of that, the stress that's around the holidays is always well documented. And part of the reason for that is there's an increase in tasks, there's an increase in folks that maybe are not seeing their family for a while and now they're having tense conversations. The biggest tool that I share with patients is how to become a DJ of thoughts, if you will. In other words, how do we remix something? Meaning, this is the psychological tool of reframing. Instead of saying, I have to do a bunch of things, well, I get to. Instead of saying, I have to have a long list of tasks around the holidays, well, I get to. The beginning tool of changing your mindset can be the start of how we change our outlook around holiday stress.
So let's talk about letting go of expectations. I've heard that time and time again. Is that something that you would recommend as well in order for me to say woosah?
Absolutely. There's this, we've seen these memes perhaps on social media of expectations versus reality. Sometimes when we're setting up ourselves to have these expectations that may not be realistic. For example, if I've had difficulties in my family interactions for many, many years, and now I'm thinking, well, hopefully when I go to see my family around this holiday season, everything will be better or things will naturally just be improving. That's an unrealistic expectation. Instead, we want to say, given the context of how things have been in the past, what's one small step I can take to change that interaction this season?
And then there is acceptance. I got to tell you, Dr. Mirhom, there's so many times where you say, you know what, I just have to accept whatever is going on. And in this case, I would assume that you too would say, realize that's the case.
That's a huge factor because sometimes we worry about changing things that we may not be able to control. And I walk patients a lot through this idea of acceptance without judgment, whether that is a circumstance or whether that is how someone is behaving. Realizing that I have control over my reaction, but not somebody else's choices. So I can accept other things around me and not try to control them, not try to manufacture a way to intervene, but rather take a step back and say, I accept both my own emotions, my own reactions, and I also give people a little bit of a grace of, you know what, if you're behaving a certain type of way around this season, you're also likely going through stress or difficulty as well. And that acceptance goes a long way in how we react to others as well.
Yeah, during this time of the year, it's no secret we are all supposed to be more thankful. However, I'm specifically talking about gratitude, and it's about having gratitude for all you have right this very moment.
That's very true, Guy. And there's a lot of data that's shown us that when we're able to see gratitude and gift, that, not just this that's positive sort of toxicity where it's a bit of pie in the sky, but rather really seeing that there are many objective reasons right now for me to take notice of something that I'm grateful for and to behave in such a way that this has been a gift given to me. The fact that I have this breath, the fact that I have this moment, that changes my outlook and also changes the way that I behave towards other people. The more grateful I am, the more around this particular season, I'm able to channel my time, my energy, my resources in a way that's productive for others as well.
We'll end with this, sir, and that is so many times folks have self-doubt, insecurities, expectations, deep-seated desires. But correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you would say, sir, that you have to remember that you are enough.
That's certainly the case, Guy. And the fact that at the heart and the core of so many things that trouble us is going back to perhaps the parenting that we've seen or things that we've been exposed to, certain levels of trauma that really get at our sense of self and our self-esteem. This is a moment around this holiday season, understanding that I am enough, that I am loved, that I have this way to look at myself as well as look at others, that you are enough as well and you are also loved. And that could be a great way to diminish my own stress and to be able to diminish another person's stress, which in turn, what we see from the data, the more I can serve others, the more I can help others, that also goes a long way to helping me as well.
Wise tips yet again by Dr. Mirhom. Kind enough to join us right here on the Live Zone. It's always good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Likewise, Guy. Thank you so much for having me.
We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.